All right, let's stay with that story, actually, because Border Management Authority is hosting an anti-corruption awareness campaign at the Maseru Bridge port of entry between South Africa and the Kingdom of Lesotho. Scara, Mafokoane joining us live from there now. Scara, let's just talk about what this operation actually is and what it's meant to entail. And we've been speaking to Michael Masiapato a little bit earlier on, but of course, you'll be joining him a little bit later.
Absolutely, and he says, look, they are making significant strides in that fight. This forum here, hosted here in Ladybrand, just at the Maseru border gate linking South Africa and Lesotho, it will be the third installment. It started at Libombo border gate and went to Beit Bridge. Now we are here at Maseru. But let's take that conversation that you heard with Michael Masiapato forward, because part of what's going to happen today is to go into the human cost of the corruption, specifically by officials of the BMA. So not only is the problem outside, but they found that the problem is within as well. Meme Mkhotsi joins me from the BMA. Meme, the human costs, these are your own officials. Part of the program, which I have in my hand, is going to concentrate on a pledge that's going to be signed by officials of the BMA. How deep-rooted is this problem within your own officials?
Yes, Scara, you would understand that when the BMA started coming into the space, we found a very compromised environment through the integration. Remember, BMA was the integration of various departments, including Department of Home Affairs, Health, Agriculture, as well as Environmental Affairs. So in this instance, we had to really demonstrate our stance of anti-corruption and the seriousness of us wanting to deal with this problem. So we had to start internally, whereby we had to launch this campaign, but it was not only a launch. We started work when we established with the investigations, ensuring that we clean up the space. Hence, at this point, we were able to report that from inception, we were able to dismiss about 50 officials that have now lost their jobs. And it's a serious matter because now they find themselves without any income. Their families are compromised at this point. They are suffering. And that is why we have this campaign of the forum where we have partnerships with the Department of Correctional Services, whereby the actual prisoners will come here to come and give testimonies on the impact of this, whereby they used to own houses, they used to have families, they used to enjoy their cars and their work, but now they find themselves behind bars and they are not able to have any income. So this is a serious matter that we needed to ensure that we clean it out, but not only through campaigns, verbal, we had to demonstrate the actions and make it live. You know, they need to see the impact through people who have lived through the impact of being incarcerated through corrupt activities.
You've described the human cost to it. We're going to be hearing testimonials from those incarcerated individuals. Having spoken or assumed to them, or having heard what they had to say, what are some of the things that you've heard that led them to what their acts?
They found themselves in compromised situations. They found themselves vulnerable, of which at this point we find it as greedy elements, because these are people that are earning income that are being taken care of by the BMA itself and various stakeholders. You know, the border environment, you'd understand that it's not only BMA, we have other law enforcement authorities in the space, we have other entities as well. So they find themselves being approached by travelers who are desperate, who do not have documents, who want to offer them money. But the acceptance of that money is wrong. Them trying to extend days for people who do not qualify for days to be in South Africa, it's wrong. So we are demonstrating that, and hence most of the 50 that were dismissed were based on those charges. And now we are in the process, we are investigating others. We have 36 cases on our roll that might lead to dismissals as well. So we are very serious on that.
Thank you so much, Meme. I'm sorry to cut you off there because I want to introduce just in a minute Ndate Nkoma, who is in charge of the BMA in the region, because the reason I'm doing that, Arabile, is because the BMA has found that within, the movement of people, illegal movement of people being facilitated, has been found that this region where we're at in the Free State or the Basotho nationals is one of the problematic areas, and you are in charge of this region, Ntate Nkoma. How widespread is the problem of illegal movement of people or even goods within the South African border and the Lesotho borders?
It is huge, as you are aware that South Africa shares the borders with Lesotho across 3 provinces, which is the Eastern Cape, the Free State, as well as the KZN. And in terms of the number of undocumented persons that we've intercepted since the establishment of the BMA, Basotho tops the list, both undocumented migrants, those who have overstayed and declared undesirable, as well as those we have subsequently deported after we have intercepted them. So this shows that the problem is huge within the RSA Lesotho border environment compared to other areas.
And interventions?
We are deploying our border law enforcement resources along the vulnerable segments of the borderline, consisting obviously of the Border Management Authority border guards, collaborating with the South African National Defence Force, the South African Police Services, SARS and other stakeholders, so that we maximize on the skills and resources that are available in those departments.
Thank you so much. We'll leave you to go, and the program is going to start, so we'll leave them to enter in there. And when I say the program, it's a multi-stakeholder, collaboration, if so to put it, because what we're told is that when the BMA intercepts or arrests their own officials or others, the SIU gets involved, the Hawks get involved as well. They are here as well, and at a later stage, Iman and Arabile will get to hear that human cost that I was talking about, the effects of the crimes that were effected, and how the response will be. But we'll bring you more of what
Scara.
we get here at the Maseru border post as and when that program starts.